Thank you for tuning in to the BizNation podcast. My name is Kerry Zarb, and I've been helping business owners just like you go from headache to heaven in a heartbeat for over 20 years. I'll be giving you all the top advice for getting started in your business, but I'll also be speaking with some of the best business minds to inspire you with valuable insights to help you get ahead in your business. If you've ever hit a roadblock or lost your passion, then this is the podcast for you. Welcome to another episode of the BizNation podcast. I'm your host, Kerry Zarb, and this is today another one of my micro pods, a short, sharp episode to get you through another busy week. Today I want to talk to you just a little bit about business finances, not a deep dive. We just want to touch on the surface and just, unpack a little bit of a topic that's on my mind at the moment. And that topic is about our financial forecasting in our business. This is a really, really tough space at the moment. What I fear is potentially going to happen, and what I don't want people to run into, is how they're going to forecast their numbers over the next, say, 12 months, potentially for those that are doing 6 monthly forecasts, really looking at the numbers, what they're going to look like, what they're going to tell us based on the previous data. None of us have a crystal ball. It's been a really, really weird time with the global pandemic and other changes in business that you might have made. It's really important right now to be looking at your business numbers. Here in Australia, we're coming up to the end of financial year. I'll save that for another episode. But with your business forecasting, I guess what we traditionally do as business owners, hopefully, potentially, and if you don't, you soon will, is you'll look at your business numbers and you'll kind of start to look at, what's ahead of us, what's coming down the line. A lot of this comes from the previous data. What I fear is the trap at the moment is that the data has been somewhat affected by the global pandemic. In essence, many businesses have pivoted and changed what they're doing in their business, and sometimes that data isn't going to be a true reflection of information, the digits that we can use to forecast the next 6 or 12 months. So today's episode is really about being very mindful of the pandemic, being very mindful of your financial numbers, and really looking at what that data is telling you and how it's speaking to you. So if you're here in Australia or anywhere else in the world and you are doing your financial forecasting, I really want you to be aware when you're looking at that previous data is to look for those trends, look for those little benchmarks, the pivots that changed our data or the things that we had to change in our business. For many business owners, it's been a really sad time. Some of them have had significant, down trends in their revenue. So, of course, looking at those situations, you can't then say, well, the next 12 months is going to be that horrible. But again, no one's got the crystal ball. Globally, this pandemic is affecting every business in different ways, depending on where you're located, what's happening in your particular area. There's many countries at the moment that are still in lockdowns or potentially just come out of lockdowns. So there's so much uncertainty about what the future holds, not to mention what our data tells us. So for small business, I think it's a really important time to be looking at your numbers. And for anyone in business, really what you want to be doing is looking at those digits and the data and understanding what happened in your business, looking for those key point areas. Like I said, there might have been an increase in financial revenue because you changed something and you had a new offering. We really need to look at not just particular moments of time of a week, capturing the last 6 or 12 months, but even looking back prior to that, the previous year, pre-pandemic is important as well. Try to capture as many trends as you can and really be mindful of what your data is saying to you from the changes that you made in your business. When it comes to forecasting, obviously that's the sticky point because what does it look like? How do you forecast when business has changed so much in recent times? So my key message, I guess, in the financial space is really look at the data. And when you're forecasting without knowing what's ahead, and that's the tricky part about it, is I guess being a little bit realistic. Unfortunately, many of us have, gone through tough times in business. Many have thrived in business throughout the pandemic, depending on what your business actually, your product or your service that you offer to your clients. So when you look at your data, you need to be, again, realistic. Look at the numbers. When you're looking at doing your forecasting, make sure that, don't rush out to buy, fancy cars or anything based on a peak period that you experience, because you just don't know if that trend is going to continue. And being, honest with yourself, honest with the numbers, and, really tapping into, like I said before, those peak periods, those particular milestones, benchmarks, however you want to look at it, and being as best as you can at the forecasting as you possibly can be. So, painting that picture, looking at a bit of an average, grab all that information that you can from your data as much as you possibly can to make sure that, hopefully your forecast and your prediction for the next 6 or 12 months is somewhat of a true reflection. Again, we don't have the crystal ball. It's an unfortunate time. Like I said before, it's continuing throughout the world, and tapping into your local market, being aware of your space and what's happening is just the key aspect for forecasting in business at the moment. I just want to emphasize, when we look at investing in our business, it's certainly always good to invest in your business and invest in yourself. So, popping those numbers into your forecast as well and seeing how that actually lands on a cash flow statement or a profit and loss, no matter what kind of data kind of example you're looking at. Really, really important. The other aspect I wanted to bring to today's episode is don't forget to put some money aside. Those that experienced those hard times, you've felt it, first and foremost. But, moving forward, if things are starting to look good and starting to look better, start to think about putting money aside in case something happens again. I think a lot of us have learnt throughout the pandemic, it hit all of us so hard and so quickly globally at the same time. So take this opportunity. If your business has bounced back, if you're looking at better times and your forecast is looking good, start to look where you can actually put some funds away for the rainy day. And, just to give yourself a little bit of a safety net, a little bit of a nest egg, and a little bit of a backup and peace of mind. As business owners, it's stressful. It is super stressful. So the last thing you want kind of weighing on your shoulders is this unknown space. What if this happens? How will I survive? If you're going to go through that again or something similar, or even just a general downturn in business. So plan, financial forecasting, your cash flow, all that kind of stuff. I just really want to emphasize to everyone, check your data, look for the trends, really pull out as much information as you can in your timeline of, changes that you made or that unique pivot that you did in your business. So today's message is all about cash flow, forecasting, your business finances. And I just want everyone to be hyper aware that, things have been weird. Things have just not been something that we can just naturally grab the data, predict an increase and move forward. So if nothing else, today was really to bring that message to you as a small business owner. And I really hope that things are improving where you are, no matter where you are in the world, that things have, bounced back and your business is starting to either recover or continuing to thrive, as we've seen so many businesses do. So thank you for tuning in to today's episode. It's been my pleasure to bring you this message, and I will chat to you again really soon. Thank you for tuning in to the BizNation podcast. It was lovely to share this episode with you. Remember to subscribe to catch all future episodes, and I would also very much love it if you'd leave me a rating or a review. Until next time, remember that you can also go from headache to heaven in a heartbeat.